my, there I am. Woo! Happy Tuesday, everyone. What a glorious night for news. And yes, you're still a terrorist. I wouldn't be surprised if you're assembling a pipe bomb right now just to remove you from this misery.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days and I thought they'd never end.
This is one of those times when I envy Marlee Matlin. So what of the actual terrorists? Well, that's a funny story. After 21 years, which is roughly as long as it takes the president to pee, it appears the Pentagon has opened a plea deal with the 5 masterminds behind 9/11. In exchange for life sentences, the 5 will drop all appeals and agree to substantial sentences in American prisons. Or they get to choose from what's behind door number 2.
What was back of the curtain that they turned down? And you turned down a pair of goats. How clever of you to have done that. We didn't get your goat. You didn't get our goat.
That's what Al-Qaeda calls a couple of hotties. And even better, they're virgins. At least that's what they claimed on Goat Tinder. But what timing? They're making deals with 9/11 hijackers when they knew we'd be distracted by 9/11. And as we make deals with accused terrorists, the head of the Department of Homeland Security is creating new terrorists, using the 21st anniversary to equate Americans with the hijackers.
The threat landscape has evolved considerably over the last 20 years. We are seeing an emerging threat, of course, over the last several years of the domestic violent extremist, an ideology of hate, anti-government sentiment, false narratives propagated on online platforms, even personal grievances.
Even personal grievances and lies. You see what this nutbucket just did? On 9/11, he equates that attack with online lies and personal grievances, which, as you know, is 98.9% of the content that appears online. Talk about inflation. Terrorism just went from knocking the Twin Towers down to leaving a mean message on Yelp. I haven't seen an exaggeration like that since Brian Williams and Hillary Clinton were in the Special Forces. Personal grievances is now an emergent threat on par with Al-Qaeda. Terrorism, it's just not for terrorists anymore. It's now for people mad they didn't get the senior discounted Denny's. It's my key demo. You better think twice before you call to complain about your loud neighbors. You might as well plant an IED on their front lawn, because in Mayorkas, it's part of the same spectrum of behavior, especially if your neighbor has a Biden bumper sticker on his Prius. You could end up on a watch list or on the wrong end of a drone strike. Heck, it won't be long before you see this at the airport.
How's it going? Hello, sir. Any carry-ons?
Just my dynamite.
Promise not to use it on the plane?
Sure.
Enjoy your flight. Oh my God. Oh my God. Security, red hat, security, terrorist at gate 9. I repeat, terrorist at gate 9.
Wait a second. I'm the terrorist here. This is stolen valor. You know how hard it is to get dynamite when you're on the watch list?
Sir, please take your seat.
No, I want an apology.
How about a drink voucher?
No alcohol, please, okay? I'm on antibiotics.
It's a virgin daiquiri.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll take 72.
Okay.
What's going on?
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Nice. Very good, Gene. Now, maybe I'm exaggerating, which I've done a million times. Little humor there. But you see what's going on, right? When this jackass says the threat landscape has evolved, he's really saying we've gone ahead and widened it, which is normal if you're Brian Stelter's tailor and you're talking about his pants. But this is to stoke fear ahead of the midterms and keep you from voting red. And this jerk is playing the good political soldier, grouping all activities under a single threat heading. It's not good. Terror is in the eye of the politically aggrieved now. So an insult on Twitter can just be a stepping stone to flying a plane into a building. But like the president's drool, this kind of threat only flows one way. They don't seem to mind rhetoric online when it's coming from unhinged liberals or even violence. The Democrat leader who allegedly murdered a Las Vegas journalist is still on the payroll. Apparently, he's not a threat. In fact, some in the media said it's Trump's fault when Democrats attack journalists. Karen Bass, the Democrat mayor candidate for L.A., mysteriously lost a pair of guns. Nothing to see there. An illegal migrant beheads a lady in Silicon Valley. I guess to the DHS, it was just a bad haircut. The victim should have called a social worker. But you're worse than all of them because of your beliefs. And now you're worse than Al-Qaeda. You know, I'm starting to think maybe we shouldn't have given the government these powers to fight terrorism in the first place. They used them against the president, and now they're using them on us. And remember, Mayorkas is the same guy who allowed a tragic spike in migrant drownings due to the unfettered flow of illegal immigration. Instead, he preferred to falsely smear one of his employees, a Border Patrol agent, for doing the job that he won't do. I'm beginning to think this ass is employed to make Kamala look competent. It's not working, but anyway. Under his watch, we've seen Americans die by hundreds of thousands from fentanyl that's coming through the border. What a convenient way to weaken the domestic threat. Or maybe that's his idea of winning the war on drugs. Let the users die. But if we were to do the numbers in terms of American deaths, that alone would make Mayorkas many times worse than Al-Qaeda. A couple of thousand victims a day, every day. You call that Homeland Security, you pointy-eared, chrome-domed gremlin? What's he's doing is hundreds of thousands of times worse than January 6th. But we get it. This is happening as the Justice Department has issued roughly 40 subpoenas this past week in connection with January 6th and efforts to overturn the election. All this is real terrorists pour through our border like a fart through an N95 mask. I don't know why I know that. Which sets the stage for more January 6 hearings, which the media embraces for its distractive power. Because when it comes to real issues, the Dems suck. Crime, inflation, the border. Like an electric car in California, they got nothing to run on. Except for you. They're gonna run on you. You're the issue. You're the problem. And so the hunt is on. In the good old days, the bad guy would be a terrorist hijacker. Now it's just someone in a red hat. But I guess that's easier than having the FBI plan kidnappings. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He dissects corporate culture like a non-woke vulture. Founder of Stripe Asset Management and author of the book, Nation of Victims, Vivek Ramaswamy. His favorite dating show is Forensic Files. Comedian and co-host of the Jim Norton and Sam Roberts Show on Sirius XM, Jim Norton. Like a handful of kettle corn, she's a little sweet, a little salty, and can often be found on the floor of a theater. Fox News contributor, Cat Chip. And finally, his optometrist needs scaffolding. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Television Champion, Tyrus. Jim, are you a terrorist? You have 1 minute to prove me wrong.
Greg, that's an excellent point. Yes, I take off my clothes and I just frighten people out of the room. You know, it's this whole, look, domestic terrorism, all right, yeah, it's got to be addressed. But let's have an honest conversation about it. Like, I'd much rather have my pilot yell, "Let's go, Brandon," than Allahu Akbar.
That joke deserved applause.
Oh, I totally agree. No.
How did... What, are you guys, like, asleep up there?
How about this? Alexander Mayorkas, he looks like Jeff Bezos in a Gollum mask.
There you go. There you go. One more?
Nope.
Okay. Usually things come in threes. That's what I, at least when you're dating.
Boy, do I know that.
Oh my God,
I had
where
three
are
kids
we?
in 1 year.
Not triplets.
Yes.
Vivek, what do you make of Mayorkas' performance on 9/11? Seems kind of wrong to me.
Yeah, it was wrong, but at the same time, I think it's like a 20-year game of ping pong because we actually did do some pretty messed up things in this country on the back of 9/11.
Yes.
Let's keep in mind that was the Republican Party back on the back of 9/11 created a surveillance state that now we live to actually pay for those sins, with another party that came into power is using that to not address international terrorism, but what they call domestic terrorism, really just their political enemies here at home. Now play that game of ping pong forward 4, 8, 10 years. Could be the Republican Party perpetrating in the other direction. turn the table, see how the people who are proponents of it now would feel. That's the game we're playing.
I like what you're saying. So the Republicans get in power, and then we do it to them.
It's what's gonna. It's what's gonna happen. It's what's gonna happen, like it or not.
I was being ironic, you audience people. Basically, what you're saying, I was for the Patriot Act back then, but now the Patriot Act is focused on me, and I don't like it anymore.
Well,
that's a good point.
It's true. So
it's true. It's true. I'm a hypocrite.
Turn the tables. If you feel differently, it means you're not following principles. That's what I say.
Exactly. What are principles anyway? Kat, is Mayorkas inciting violence against Trump supporters, and does me raising that question incite violence against him?
I guess incitement of violence is in the eye of the beholder.
That's true.
It really is. If you're a violent person who does a violent thing, it could be for any absolutely crazy reason. And again, I think you're completely right that we should have never given the government those powers. I think, it's time to get rid of them, whether it's surveillance or the TSA. We completely need to get rid of the TSA. I hate flying because of the TSA. I know you're going to be like, that's because your bag is full of drugs, which would be really original. But it's just any situation where the scenario is you have to let me grab your crotch and I don't have to tell you why is going to make me uncomfortable.
Yeah. That is true. We allowed terrorism terrorists to let strangers touch us in public.
They're like, oh, I know it's the drawstring on your sweatpants. I'm like, well, then why are you grabbing me there?
Yeah.
People actually grab you?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? They did something. I remember when my mom was flying. She was 80. They pulled up her shirt. She was in line. I will never forget that. They pulled up her shirt. It was one of the most humiliating. It's like, how can you do that? That was like in 2000.
They always just say, have a good day. I was not aware. I don't have to keep an eye out for that. He makes a great point about, the Patriot Act. Now it's Act Against the Patriots. Isn't that funny how it's come all the way around? And they've made the bar so low that they're never wrong. It's like if you say, oh man, I don't like Sleepy Joe, terrorist. So the bar is that low. And when something horrible happens, because today I saw a stat, 500,000 getaways this fiscal year. You don't think a few of them are military trained. You don't think a few of them are coming from places that shouldn't be there. But we're too busy looking at someone who's openly wearing a red hat saying, I want America to be great again. That's the guy you got to watch. He's not hiding it. Yeah. He's got a flag in his front yard. His truck is probably dressed the same, and he'll be happily to tell you what his political beliefs are, his religious beliefs are, his education. That's the guy you got to watch. And that's the problem is that when we get hit with something, Yep.
It's also like this ever-expanding target. So it's like in the middle of the target, let's say the middle of the target is Trump and the people who work for Trump. If you happen to be friends with Trump, if you were ever talking to somebody, if you were talking to me, they could call you and they go, we have a phone call between you and somebody. They're going to, that's the game, so that you won't end up working for Trump or working for anybody in the future because you'll be too terrified.
But the other thing is just the expansion of language, right? They're doing the same thing with racism. They're doing it with terrorism. The words just lose their meaning. At the end of the day, if everyone's a terrorist or if everyone's a racist, no one's a terrorist and no one's a racist. Yeah. And we actually miss the real ones.
There you go. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.